Well, hello again to all the boys and girls out there in YouTube land watching Georgia Beer Reviews. Back at you today with another one. And what I am looking at finally is the Lagunitas Super Cluster. I've been hearing about this one for a long time. I just haven't splurged on a 12 pack because that's usually the only configuration that I can get here. But sure enough, at Kroger the other day, they had the singles, so I picked up a couple of singles in a mix your own 6 pack configuration, and I'm excited to try it. I've heard many good things about this. So the Super Cluster Ale is 8% alcohol by volume, 60 IBUs, introduced in 2018. Has a long little thing, description on the side of the can with a bunch of nonsense for the most part. But it does say that the hop variety that they use to hop this beer is Citra, and yeah, that's pretty much the only thing that is of any significance on the side of the can there. A Citra hopped mega ale of intergalactic proportions. Sometimes Lagunitas, I mean, they make great beer. God bless them. I love all the beers that I've had from them, but they just have these ridiculous, long, drawn out descriptions. Most of it's a bunch of nonsense, which I guess that's kind of a cool, hip thing. I don't know. Not really my cup of tea, though. Anyway, or glass of beer, I guess I should be saying. But I have enjoyed all of the Lagunitas beers that I've had up to this point. They are probably my favorite brewery that makes super West Coast style IPAs, because I really don't like the super bitter, piney, resinous beers for the most part. But Lagunitas does a very good job with them, and they find a way to balance the malts and the hops to make an exceptional product. So anyway, there's your pour. A nice golden color with a 3.5, 4 finger, creamy looking, slightly off white head. Like I said, I've never had this beer before, but I've been looking forward to trying it for a while. I was just waiting for the opportunity to buy a single, which I was granted a couple days ago. So I can already smell the aroma. It's very citrus forward, very hoppy. This is interesting because I'm getting citrus in the form of grapefruit. I'm getting a light piney note, as well as some interesting herbal and earthy notes. If all of this is coming from the Citra, then I am impressed because that is a very complex hop aroma. Little bit of a breadiness in the background, but the hops are definitely the first thing jumping out at you. Let's see when this thing was. There's some coat on the bottom that makes absolutely no sense to me. There is no canned on date. There's just a code 112 9237020102. That it's just a bunch of numbers that I don't know. Anyway, it smells fresh. So like I said, earthy, citrusy, and a slight piney note with a nice bready backbone, a nice malt backbone. Smells good. So without further ado, let's get into this brew. Cheers. All right, very nice. You're getting all of those hop aromas that I was talking about. They're following through on the palate. Citrus, mostly, with a little bit of earthiness and a slight dank, resinous, piney thing in the background, but it's really not very in your face like a lot of West Coast style IPAs can be. It's very well balanced between the malt and the hops. It's actually kind of sweet. Like they added candy sugar to this or something. It's kind of strange. But it's sweet. kind of like a Belgian beer. You know, they add candy sugar. It's almost like they did that with this beer, which is interesting. But yeah, it's definitely on the sweet side. The bitterness at 60 IBUs is actually pretty low with this one. It's the malts and the hops are balanced very well. It's got that sugary sweetness to kind of counteract the bitterness. At 8%, the body is pretty light. I mean, it is sugary, I guess, a little sticky, so you probably couldn't drink too many. And at 8%, it's definitely not a sessionable beer, but it's relatively light body to be an 8% beer. If it wasn't like sugary sweet like it is, then I would say the sessionability would actually be higher. But it does kind of balance out the hops because it is 60 IBUs, and I guess it would be a pretty bitter beer if it wasn't for that sugary sweet component that I'm getting, which, man, I swear it's like they added sugar to this beer, like cane sugar or, candy sugar. It's a good beer. Another winner from Lagunitas. One of the few Lagunitas beers that I ever see in the can, which is kind of nice. I'm glad I finally got to try it. I'm going to have to go back and watch some reviews now. I know my good buddy Ron Ontario, Louisiana Beer Reviews, has done this once or twice. He might have a duo review with David. I'll have to check that out. Be interested to know what they think. That sugary thing is really strange. It's not bad. It's just I wasn't expecting it with this style of beer. It's like they took an IPA and added whatever, Belgian candy sugar to it, like they do with like Belgian quads. Oh, okay. This is a tough one for me because it's so strange, but in a good way. I think it's excellent. I think it's excellent for what they're doing with this beer. It's definitely a unique product. It's not like any other hoppy beer really that I've ever had because of that candy sugar note that I'm getting, which I think just kind of balances out the hop bitterness. It is kind of sticky. The finish is not super crisp or clean. It's not a dirty finish, but it's just not like a crisp, dry finish that you'd expect to get from a standard IPA or a lager, that type of thing. It's just kind of like slightly wet, sweet finish. I'm going to go with a 92 out of 100. It's an A minus, getting up towards a solid A, but it's so strange, and I don't know how a lot of people are going to take to this. But I'd be interested to hear what you guys think. Let me know what you think of this beer. It's so different than any other beer that I've had from Lagunitas. It really is unique, and but it is enjoyable, and it's on the sweet side for an IPA. Like for Lagunitas, this is a sweet beer from Lagunitas, but it is very hoppy, and it's got a lot of hop character at the same time. So that's just where it kind of throws me off, I guess. Anyway, I have blabbed on long enough. 92 out of 100 for the Lagunitas Super Cluster Ale. Let me know what you guys think about this strange and interesting beer. That'll do it for this beer review, guys. Look at the lacing on the glass there. Very nice. Oh, you can always expect good lacing from Lagunitas as well. So, quality beer from Lagunitas. 92 out of 100. That'll do it for this beer review, guys. Hope you're all having a great day. And until next time, everybody, cheers.